Good New Year to you. By most accounts, independent jewelers estimated Christmas retail sales were down anywhere from 8% to 17%, but there were some exceptions. There was that rare instance where sales was flat to slightly up from 2007, just as there were some who reported a drop of sales of 50% or more. Now, the big brands such as Zale, Finlay, Blue Nile, and Signet will release their sales figures in coming weeks. Meanwhile, in recap of 2008, you know there was a fundamental shift in consumer behavior observed by independent jewelers this Christmas, and this trend is likely to last some time. Shoppers scaled back their choices for stones and sought lower quality and smaller diamonds from what was typically observed during past few Decembers. Looking deeper into the year, though, we lost some retail brands, including Friedman's and Whitehall. Just before the year ended, Christian Bernard filed for bankruptcy. Zale, Finlay, and Signet implemented long-term cost-cutting measures given the difficult retail environment. India, though, in consumer markets there, they grew more robust in 2008 and expect this to continue as local demand for diamonds becomes increasingly important to the emerging middle and upper classes. Other changes the diamond industry was likely to see carried through in 2009, at least through the first half: bank credit tightening. Now, this affects all business sectors, of course, but banks are very leery right now of financing inventory purchases. While mining companies experienced a good first half of 2008, investment cash started drying up in the second half, causing exploration stocks to plummet, and with a drop in demand for rough, many diamond miners reduced production and in some cases halted production altogether as the year came to a close. But above all this, now there was one man, though, who didn't let the drops in consumer spending or rough demand faze him, right, Zach?
Just amazing, really, Jeff. Lawrence Graff was certainly our man last year. The guy went on a spending spree, bought some of the year's most valued diamonds, both polished and rough, and he bought a decent stake in mining company Gem Diamonds. Even this week he said he remains bullish on the diamond markets because the audience for these larger multi-million-dollar stones aren't fazed by the recession. There was other good news in 2008, of course. De Beers opened its main sorting facility in Botswana, increasing the country's attractiveness as a diamond hub. DTC sales in 2008 were down. We estimate the total site estimate was about $5.5 billion, which is certainly shy of the $6 billion in 2007. Like you said before, Jeff, even though the mines are temporarily closed, De Beers did open 3 new ones: Snap Lake and Victor in Canada and Voorspoed in South Africa. India handed off the Kimberley process scheme to Namibia this month, while Venezuela voluntarily dropped out, ostensibly to clean its own house. But no matter what seemed important to us in 2008, nothing affected the industry more than the Mumbai terror attacks in November, and will undoubtedly remain in collective memory for many years to come. So with that said, back to you, Jeff. You know, even though I track stock prices week to week in the trade wire, I still couldn't believe how dramatic the changes were for the year.
Well, decimated in some cases. Take a look at some of the public companies that we cover in our Rappaport Weekly Trade Wire. Red ink everywhere. Particularly hard hit were the Indian firms, and given these major declines in retail stocks, some retailers stateside didn't fare as bad. Take a look at Coles and Signet. But the UK's Theophenol was down 75% and US Zale was down 77%. Now, what comes next, at least this is what retail analysts at the S&P are hinting at. Given these price drops in 2008, they've been so severe that they have reflected already a weak consumer marketplace, and they may be at their bottom levels for the year. Now, the S&P expects a dismal retail environment for most of 2009, though, especially for department stores. Turning now to other items, retailers Samuels Jewelers and Rogers Limited were issued a temporary restraining order to discontinue selling and promoting products that are under design copyright dispute with Merit Diamond Corporation. Merit alleges the retailers infringed upon jewelry design copyrights for the Serena Collection, Solitaire Pendant, and Three Stones Pendant. The retailers agreed to discontinue sales and advertising of their versions pending final judgment. M. Geller launched the Diamond Jewelry Builder, a web-based retail program that integrates into a retailer's existing website. Finished jewelry is shipped from M. Geller in the retailer's own packaging. Jay Gerber of M. Geller said, with the product suite, retailers have access to virtual use of a $150,000 platform for only an integration fee, which is later credited back. In precious metals news, on the week through January 7th, gold is down 4% to $846.20 an ounce. Platinum is roaring back. It was actually up above $1,000 today. It's up 6% on the week to $9.85 an ounce. Silver is down 2% to $11.12 an ounce. For all the latest news, please visit diamonds.net.